What if I don't like the name?
What is it?
Do you know, that's not too bad actually.
What? Hello guys and welcome back to Car Obsession. So yes, my Fiesta track car. Have I got a good car or have I bought an absolute lemon? So you never know, do you, when you buy a used car? You can do as much checking as you want, check the history, MOT history, all of that sort of thing, but you never really know what you've bought. Well, not completely anyway. So the guy I bought it off, he's a fellow YouTuber. He seems like a lovely guy, really, trustworthy. He answered the multitude of questions I had. So I felt like I was able to place a lot of faith into him, but at the same time, he didn't own the car for very long, so I'm sure he hadn't really got to grips with the car either. So I bought the car from him in Newcastle upon Tyne, which from here is a flipping long way away, let's put it that way. So I drove the car back and it took me, how long did it take me? I think it was about 6.5 hours, although my wife and I, Patsy, we did stop 1 or 2 times, toilet breaks, that kind of thing as well. So the car got us all the way back to the south coast of England with no real incidents. So that already is a pretty good start. So shortly after I bought the car, I booked it in at my place of work. I work for a car repair garage and got one of the mechanics to take a look over it. Now sadly the paperwork has gone walkabouts. Someone, I'm not naming any names, Patsy, sorry, bit of a cough. There's lots of it going about. Someone may have misplaced the paperwork. However, I'm able to do things from memory. So I got the car in to the workshop and I've got one of the mechanics to take a good look at it. And for the most part, the car is looking pretty healthy. So there are a few advisories, but nothing really major. So the front tyres are on 4mm. So I had a feeling the front tyres were getting just a little bit low on tread. So because the rear tyres were on 6mm, I've now swapped them over because it makes sense. It is a front wheel drive car, so it makes more sense to have the thicker tyres at the front. What else was there? So the outer CV boots on the front, both sides are missing a clip and one of the CV boots is leaking grease, so that would need to be addressed. That's nothing really serious, to be honest. It is if you don't address it and leave it, but hopefully I'll be able to address it, and there won't be any issues following that. One of the brake calipers on the front, I think it's the offside front, but I may be wrong. One of the front brake calipers, one of the front wheels has got a bit of a bind, so it's not turning quite as freely as it should do. Nothing major, so that's something to look out for. It could be that perhaps one of the brake calipers is starting to seize up, so that's something to keep an eye on. There are 1 or 2 leaks coming from the engine, oil leak. The mechanicals have said there he believes it's probably a slight leak for the power steering, but nothing super serious. So as long as I check the levels, make sure they're topped up appropriately, I shouldn't have any issues. What else was on there? Oh, one of the brake flexi hoses on the near side front. Well, I say the brake flexi hose on the near side front is twisted a bit. But apart from that, I don't think there was anything else that was really advised. So the car looks to be in good health. I've checked the thickness of the brake pads, both front and rear, and they do look to have plenty of meat left on them. I'm not too sure what brand they are, if I'm going to be honest. But the car appears to be fighting fit for the most part. So that is of course positive. I've booked the car in for a track date for the 1st of March. Once again I will be pounding my way around Snetterton. Hopefully this time the day will end better than last time. But last time it was my own fault. I didn't keep an eye on the oil level, and yeah, that is not a mistake I'm going to make twice. So there are a few other things I need to do to the car before I do take it on track. So I want to take the stickers off because it's still got the previous YouTuber Dan. It's still got his channel's branding. I've got nothing against his channel, but you know, I just want to get them off. Just so the car looks, you know, the car doesn't look like a kind of sandwich board, you know, with the advertising on it. The temperature gauge isn't working. I did mention that when I picked the car up, so that's something I want to try and diagnose. When I say I get one of my colleagues to do it, whether it's a thermostat or a coolant temperature sensor or maybe wiring or something else. I do want to get that fixed because I do really want that working for the track day. I'm going to replace the spark plugs because I don't know the last time they were done. There's no harm in doing it. It's a quick, easy and cheap job to do, so why not do it? I've already carried out a basic service, so I've changed the oil and changed the oil filter. Yeah, the oil that came out was pretty black, so yeah, I'm not too sure the last time that was done. So yeah, it was good to do that before the track day as well. So as well as the oil change, I also did an engine flush, and I also put a treatment in the fuel tank as well. And I have to say, since doing that, the engine is running more smoothly, and it just feels a little bit nicer. It doesn't the engine doesn't feel quite as lumpy as it did before. So for those of you that are skeptical about those engine flushes and fuel system treatments, I can tell you firsthand they do genuinely work. So yeah, that's definitely made a difference. What else do I need to put? I need to put clips on the CV boots. The reverse light has stopped working. I did put a new bulb in there, but that hasn't made a difference. So I need to get that looked into as well. I'll probably do a brake fluid change as well. Because again, I don't know the last time that was done. I'll get my colleague. You know, we'll have a look at it tomorrow to see the condition of the brake fluid, to see if it looks murky or if it looks like it needs replacing, and go from there. Oh, good news, by the way. Monique, my Mark 1 Mk5, passed her MOT today, which is fantastic. No advisories, which I think is amazing for a car that is 22 years old, and her MOT history is actually really clean. Pretty much every time she's passed, it's been with no advisories. So I think that's amazing for a car that, you know, for that age, and it's not as if she's a garage queen. She has done a fair amount of miles. Anyway, I'm starting to digress, but I'm very happy today because MOTs, for me at least, are always a nerve-wracking time. But yes, going back to the Fiesta, there's a few little bits I want to do before the track day descends upon me, but nothing really major. So I think that's all I have to say. Now, I will try and film a few bits tomorrow, but in all honesty, when you're filming, well, in my opinion, in my experience, whenever I film car maintenance videos, it just slows you down so much, and I've got quite a busy day tomorrow. So I might film a few bits and then kind of shoehorn the clips into a separate video and do it that way. But anyway, before I sign off, because I know this video isn't the most, what's the word? Engaging. I think it is about time we finally choose a name for the car. Pardon me. So when I put up the first video, when I revealed the car, some of you lovely people kindly suggested names for it, and I said, well, I think it was me or Patsy said in the video that we'd pick a name out of the hat. So that's why I have a hat here. Admittedly, it is quite a formal hat. This is a fedora, probably too formal for the occasion, but as you can see, I've got quite a few bits of paper in there, so we'll give it a shake. Oh, that one's kind of got stuck. Let's give it a good old shake. Oh, Patsy's come in.
Well, if I don't like the name, it ain't sticking.
Right, I'm going to pick this one.
Let me read it.
Okay, I'm going to hand it to Patsy. She's behind the camera. That just looks weird.
What if I don't like the name? So I've already named him.
She was trying to wave the camera.
But what if I don't like the name?
What is it?
Do you know, that's not too bad actually.
What?
Ferdinand.
Ferdinand. I'll take that.
But I like Mr. Frosty.
No, I never liked Mr. Frosty.
Just to show, I'm not coming on camera because I've got my jammies on. Just show it says Ferdinand.
So I kind of ripped up the piece of paper when I went.
Do you know what? Whoever suggested that name, I actually really like that.
Ferdinand the Fiesta. I don't know. It's quite a different name, but so
Who suggested that, or don't you know?
I don't know off the top of my head. I have to drop it in as a subtitle. So just to verify the vote, so to speak.
I'd like to read out some of the others.
Yeah, go on then.
Because this makes me then think if...
Come on, autofocus. Can you just... Don't worry.
Okay. So the other nominees were... See, I've been really good at the TV awards.
Can you touch the screen because it's not focusing on me. The autofocus is having a fit.
There we go.
That's better. Thank you.
Felix.
I like Felix. Actually, if I had to pick, I think I would have gone with Felix.
Then the cats would probably think you've got another cat.
I like Felix. Whoever nominated Felix, I think I probably would have gone with that.
Mk5 Fiesta.
Yeah, I must admit that's my least favourite name. Sorry.
I get why they said it because he's kind of white, bald looking.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've just got my nails done, so I'm taking forever. Ah, see, I replied to the person who suggested this. I really like this name, Firefly.
Yes. It's distinctive, I'd say. Firefly's a good one.
I think he did explain why. Firefly. Oh, there was 2 suggestions of Ferdinand.
Yeah. There's 2 people who suggested Ferdinand.
Okay. Got 3 more.
Good thing loads of people didn't put suggest a name.
Hot White Fiesta.
Yeah.
How tiny did you do this one?
Well, there's not many left.
No, these are the last 2, so don't worry too much.
Gives me a chance to have some more of my beer. A beer always tastes better when you're... Fred? See, if Fred had won, I probably would have changed it to Freddie. But yeah, Fred's a good one. Doesn't beer taste better when your car has passed its MOT? I think it has.
Fury.
Fury's quite a good one.
But he is now called...
Ferdinand. Ferdinand the Fiesta. It's got a nice ring to it. There we are. But yeah, so I probably won't film tomorrow because it will take up too much time. However, I will of course be filming the track day. I'm really looking forward to it because, well, it's a track day. They're always so much fun. But yeah, there will be more content coming with the Fiesta, so be sure to stick around. Hopefully I won't break this one. If I do, I think Patsy will actually throttle me. So yeah, so for the time being, touch wood, Ferdinand will be sticking around. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, thank you for your support, guys. If you have enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a massive thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done already, and ring my bell so you get notified every time I make a video. But until the next time, guys, be sure to keep up the car obsession.